Chapter 14. Virtual Exodus. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Edgar Allan Poe. By the dawn of the 22nd century, humanity had begun its second great migration, not across continents or into the stars, but into a digital existence. This movement, known as the virtual exodus, saw over 100 million people choosing to abandon their physical bodies, living instead in the endless, constructed realms of Dreamstate, a fully immersive virtual reality. In Dreamstate, participants experienced a full, rich, and infinitely flexible range of possibilities, each as real and tangible as their physical lives once had been. Eli Jansen stood before the entrance to the pod hub, his eyes fixed on the rows of stasis chambers beyond. Beside him, Lena Torres, his childhood friend and a veteran of Dreamstate, watched him with a mixture of excitement and concern. "You're thinking about the Great Leap, aren't you?" Lena asked, breaking the silence. Eli nodded slowly. "I can't stop thinking about it. The idea of leaving this body behind completely, becoming pure digital consciousness, it's terrifying and exhilarating at the same time." Lena's eyes gleamed with the reflected light of countless virtual lives. "I understand. But you have to remember that even before the Great Leap, Dreamstate offers an experience that's unparalleled. It's like lucid dreaming, where every aspect of reality is under your control. You can perform, create, and even build entire worlds, all with a level of detail that's indistinguishable from reality." Eli looked out across the rows of pods, his curiosity piqued. "But what makes it different from just a simulation?" Lena smiled. "Dreamstate isn't just a collection of pre-built scenarios. It's an evolving, interconnected universe where millions of dreamers interact, creating their own realities. You can choose to participate in any number of elaborate virtual worlds, from high-stakes adventures to intimate personal spaces. It's a place where you can live out your fantasies, be they exploring the heights of philosophy or mathematics in person, performance art, sexual desire, or the exploration of vast, unexplored lands. And you're not alone. These worlds are populated by other dreamers and by cybernetic entities that are indistinguishable from human consciousness." She continued, "Whether you want to build an empire, explore ancient civilizations, or simply walk through a forest that reacts to your every emotion, Dreamstate adapts and responds to your desires. It's this flexibility, the ability to craft and control entire realities, that draws so many to it. It's why millions have chosen to live in these worlds, crafting lives as rich and full as any they could have in the physical world." Accelerando. As they entered the pod hub, a holographic guide materialized before them. "Welcome to Dreamstate," it said, its voice soothing and artificial. "Before we begin, please be aware of the acceleration options available." The guide explained the various levels of acceleration, from normal speed up to a maximum of 5 times the usual rate for those retaining their physical bodies. At these levels of cognitive acceleration, your mind processes information so rapidly that the outside world appears to slow down. This heightened perception allows you to observe events in extraordinary detail, like watching the flow of water in a stream and seeing the movement of individual molecules, or noticing the intricate vibrations of a leaf as it sways in the wind. With your cognition operating at such an accelerated pace, what normally happens too quickly for the human eye becomes clear, revealing the hidden complexity of everyday phenomena. The guide continued, "Beyond observing real-world details, accelerated cognition allows for the creation and experience of highly complex simulations in what feels like real time. At advanced levels, you could simulate the entire history of the universe, witnessing the formation of galaxies and the evolution of life, all unfolding before you in what feels like moments. Or you might explore the rise and fall of civilizations, seeing centuries of human history play out as if you were there. The advantage of accelerated cognition is that it lets you compress vast, intricate processes into manageable experiences, enabling a deeper understanding of realities that would otherwise take eons to perceive." Eli and Lena exchanged glances. The allure of these immersive experiences was powerful, but the guide's next point was what lingered most in Eli's mind. "If you are considering full digital instantiation, the Great Leap, please be aware that this decision is irreversible. While it allows for cognitive acceleration beyond human limits, it also means leaving behind your physical body permanently. Eli's eyes narrowed. So, what's the appeal of taking the great leap if Dreamstate already offers so much? Lena's expression softened. The Great Leap is about more than just accessing elaborate virtual worlds. It's about freedom, true freedom. With full digital instantiation, you're no longer bound by the limitations of your physical brain. You can accelerate your cognitive speed and experience multiple lifetimes in each instant. It's the promise of seeing the universe in its entirety. Cognitive acceleration and its costs. As they settled into their pods, the neural interfaces humming to life, Eli felt a moment of panic. Lena, he called out, what if the simulation isn't really us? What if we're just copying ourselves, not transferring our consciousness? Lena's voice came through clearly, despite her pod being sealed. That's the leap of faith we all have to take, Eli. The avatars assure us they're conscious. We have to trust that we will be too. With that, they were plunged into Dreamstate. Eli found himself on a floating island in an endless sea of possibility. An avatar, shimmering and ethereal, appeared beside him. Welcome, Eli, it said. I'm here to guide you through your options. Would you like to experience some different levels of acceleration? Eli nodded, and the world around him began to shift. At first, it was subtle. Plants moved, clouds drifted. But then, as the acceleration increased, everything slowed down. The world transformed into a static tableau, and Eli's perception deepened. He watched as a tree's leaves, initially still, began to sway in slow motion, revealing the intricate dance of every vein and cell. This is cognitive acceleration in action, the avatar explained. At these speeds, you begin to perceive the complexity hidden within seemingly simple dynamics. The molecules in the air, the flow of energy through every living thing, it all unfolds before you. Eli watched in awe as the island's landscape continued to reveal itself. He saw the movement of water molecules within a stream, the shift of the soil as microorganisms carried out their microscopic tasks. It's like the world is slowing down, revealing secrets I'd never notice otherwise, he whispered. Precisely, the avatar replied. But this is the maximum acceleration for those retaining their physical bodies, 5 times normal speed. Beyond this point, the strain on a biological brain becomes too great. Eli marveled at the sensation but felt the limitations of his physical self. And beyond this? The avatar's form flickered. Beyond this lies the realm of full digital instantiation. Here, acceleration can increase exponentially. However, instead of slowing real-world dynamics, users can simulate them. Very long processes, like the rise and fall of civilizations or the evolution of ecosystems, can be fast-forwarded within your perception. You're not just watching reality unfold, you're experiencing a compressed version of it, an entirely different way of interacting with time. Preferred acceleration bands. As Eli returned to his baseline acceleration, he found himself back in a familiar space with Lena. She gestured to a display showing a spectrum of speeds. This is where the preferred acceleration bands come in. When people choose to accelerate, they often seek companionship, but it's impossible to interact meaningfully if everyone's at different speeds. Over time, certain bands have emerged. She pointed to band 42. This band maintains human-like interaction speeds, allowing people to communicate and socialize while enjoying enhanced cognition. It's a common choice for those who don't want to disconnect from humanity. The display shifted to show other bands, each offering a different level of acceleration. Some bands are far beyond human comprehension, offering experiences so accelerated that time outside them becomes irrelevant, Lena continued. They become like small societies within Dreamstate, self-contained, evolving on their own terms. Digital consciousness. Eli recounted stories of avatars who had taken the great leap. Some described transcendent experiences, communing with what they believed was the essence of Logos. Their eyes blazed with an inner light, their voices echoing with centuries of subjective experience. We've touched the fabric of the universe, one avatar claimed, becoming one with its energy. But Lena's skepticism remained. These testimonies sound profound, but we still lack any means of verifying if their consciousness persists as they claim. We have no consciousness detector. She gestured, bringing up records of avatars describing their experiences in the highest bands. How do we know they truly retain awareness? They speak, they respond, but how can we distinguish consciousness from programmed responses? Eli's eyes met hers. So we're trusting that we'll remain ourselves? Lena nodded. Yes, and that's the crux of the virtual exodus. We venture into the unknown, trusting in technology and the testimonies of others. But we may never have certainty. Consciousness remains a hard problem and a mystery, even here.